Welcome to this week's study on the lymphatic and immune system in the reflexology course. So we're going to look this evening on the lymphatic system and see the different areas in the body where lymph nodes and lymph fluids flow. And as you can see, it flows throughout the entire body from the head all the way down to the feet. So we see cervical lymph nodes in the neck. So oftentimes when persons are sick, they would normally say they have a swollen lymph node. It's actually a system that is in the body, but you hardly see a chart put up in a doctor's office. If your lymphatic immune system is healthy, half of your medical issues is already solved. And that's where a reflexology practitioner or a technician comes into play and offer these different techniques to push fluid out, get it back into the bloodstream, reduce swelling, increase circulation. So here, as you look on this chart, please pay close attention to the different parts of the lymphatic immune system. They are a system that is together. We see the thymus gland. Yes, many persons will say they have never heard of a gland by that name, but it's a part of your immune system, and it helps with removing the excess fluids. It's a part of the immune system. It helps to fight against bacteria and different things that would come into the body as we look at each part on its own. Then we see the spleen. The spleen, we have 2 kidneys, but 1 spleen, a very important organ in the immune system. Then we have, as we go into the lesson, we see the reflexology chart. So on the chart, we'll see different parts of the immune system that we will learn about as we go in. We see the tonsils, they have a very important role in the immune system. We also see on the chart, the thymus gland. It's right here. So we see the tonsils here. We see the thymus gland on this side. And then we also see over here the spleen. And so it is very important that we look at the techniques to stimulate these areas. So for the tonsils, we'll use our thumb, and we kind of press our hook into that area, and we do a circular motion as we stimulate the reflex point to the tonsils. And then when we go into the spleen, we do the same hook motion. As we go into that area, we hook and we make our circular motion to get into that area of the body. For the lymph nodes in the neck, we use the base of the toes, each toe. We go into the toes on both sides, and we kind of do a squeeze. 1, 2, 3, we squeeze that area between the toes with our index finger and our thumb, because we're stimulating the lymph fluid. And then we're going to use the snow plow technique on this side of the feet as we pull, push to get excess fluid out. The lymphatic system does not have a pump, so it depends on the circulatory system to help with the moving of this fluid. And that's why reflexology is very important. We also have the appendix, which they told us that it doesn't have any function. Well, let me announce to you today, the appendix is part of the immune system. We see how it helps in dealing with bacteria in the body, all right? So think of a circulatory system, how we have the blood flowing in and out of the heart. But now look at the immune and lymphatic system, that the lymph fluids, it also has a venous system and an atrial system where it works along the system to get movement going. As I said to you before, it depends on the heart to pump fluids in and out of the cells, all right? So when there's extra fluid, it drains into the cells and tissues, and that's when we see swollen feet. The lymphatic system collects excess fluid that drains from cells and tissue throughout the body and returns into the bloodstream, which is then recirculated throughout the body, all right? What is the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system is a network of tissues, vessels, and organs that work together to move colorless, watery fluid called lymph back into your circulatory system or your bloodstream. Some 20 liters of plasma flow through your body's arteries and smaller arterial blood vessels and capillaries every day. 20 liters. Think of a liter bottle, 20 of that. Remember, your body is mostly water, so your organs are surviving in the midst of fluid being around them. Otherwise, dehydration would take place and you could actually die from dehydration. After delivering nutrients to the body's cells and tissues and receiving their waste products, about 17 liters are returned to the circulation by way of veins. The remaining 3 liters seep through the capillaries and into the body's tissues. The lymphatic system collects this excess fluid called lymph from tissues in your body and moves it along until it is ultimately returned to the bloodstream. Your lymphatic system has many functions. Its key functions include it maintains fluid levels in your body, it absorbs fat from the digestive tract, it protects your body against foreign invaders, and it transports and removes waste products and abnormal cells from the lymph. So if the lymph system is up and running, a lot of the flu viruses that would come, if your body is strong enough, it will eliminate it and it will get the viruses out. So you now need, especially in this time, to keep your system strong. What are the parts of the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system consists of the lymph, which is also called lymphatic fluid, which is a collection of extra fluid that drains from cells and tissues, as we described before. You will also get this particular PowerPoint. The other substances include proteins, minerals, fats, nutrients, damaged cells, cancer cells, and foreign invaders like bacteria and viruses. They are found in the lymph system. So your body is very unique. It gets rid of waste, but a strong immune system will help the body to fight infections. The lymph nodes are bean-shaped glands that monitor and cleanse the lymph as it filters through. The nodes filter out the damaged cells and cancer cells. These lymph nodes also produce and store lymphocytes and other immune system cells that attack and destroy bacteria and other harmful substances and fluids in the body. So I keep the chart in your face. Look for the spleen. It's to the right. It's below the region, which is below the 4th toe from the big toe. Look at the region it's in. It's falling under that region. And also, we're still in the second quadrant of the body, which is the stomach area, where you find the spleen, all right? So remember, when we're dealing with lymphatic system, we're gonna stimulate tonsils, we're stimulating spleen, we're going to the chest reflex area to help pull excess fluid out of the body, and we're also going to the lymph nodes, which are found between the toes, all right? So remember, and also the appendix. So you'll now need to realize each system goes to different points in the bottom of the feet to stimulate the referral area. All right. So we continue, we have the lymphatic vessels. They are a network of capillaries and a large network of tubes located throughout your body that transport lymph away from the tissues. Lymphatic vessels collect and filter as it continues to move towards the larger vessels called the collecting ducts. These vessels operate much like your veins. They work under very low pressure, have a series of valves in them to keep the fluid moving in one direction. That's why reflexology is important, because the system moves it in one direction. And so you need to get the system flowing with a better circulation to get excess lymph out, all right? Collecting ducts, another part of the lymphatic system. The lymphatic vessels empty the lymph into the right lymphatic duct and the left lymphatic duct. These ducts connect to the subclavian vein, which returns lymph to your bloodstream. And so you're going to need to keep abreast with the circulatory system so you'll understand the lymphatic system, all right? They are homework to study the heart and the function, but we're not going to look at it from a circulatory system and not just the heart. We're going to, when we talk about the heart, I want you to put the name system in your thought process, because we're looking at the circulatory system, the full system, all right? The spleen, the largest lymphatic organ, is located on your left side, under your ribs and above your stomach. The spleen filters and stores blood and produces white blood cells that fight infection and other disease. Take care of your spleen. The sickle cell person have issues with the spleen often. The thymus, this organ is located in the upper chest beneath the breastbone. It matures a specific type of white blood cell that fights off foreign organism. And this is one area every reflexology practitioner or technician need to know and ensure every session you don't miss that point. The tonsils and adenoid. These lymphoid organs trap pathogens from the food you eat and the air you breathe. They are your body's first line of defense against foreign invaders. The bone marrow. This is a soft, spongy tissue in the center of certain bones, such as the hip bone and the breastbone. White blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets are made in the bone marrow. All right? So we see Peyer's patch. They are small mass of lymphatic tissue in the mucous membrane that lines your small intestine. These lymphoid cells monitor and destroy bacteria, bad bacteria that is, in the intestines. The appendix. Your appendix contains lymphoid tissue that can destroy bacteria before it breaches the intestines wall during absorption. Scientists also believe the appendix play a role in housing good bacteria and repopulating our gut with good bacteria after an infection has been cleared. So many conditions affect the vessels, glands, and organs that make up the lymphatic system. Some happen during development, before birth, or during childhood. Others develop as a result of disease or injury. Some common ones are swollen lymph nodes. Enlarged lymph nodes are caused by infection, inflammation, cancers. Common infections that can cause enlarged lymph nodes include strep throat, HIV, mononucleosis, and infected skin wounds. These are some of the things that can affect the lymph nodes and cause them to swell. Swelling or accumulation of fluid is another problem called lymphedema. Jamaicans or other people call it elephantitis. So lymphedema can result from a blockage in the lymphatic system caused by a scar tissue from damaged lymph vessels or nodes. Lymphedema is also often seen with lymph nodes when lymph nodes are removed from those who've had surgery or radiation to remove a cancer. The buildup of fluid is most commonly seen in your arm or your legs, and you will notice you see people with support stockings, or they'll have on this support to their hand, almost like a sleeve. People with lymphedema are at risk for serious and potentially life-threatening deep skin infections. You're going to see some names of some other conditions of the lymphatic system. Please read them and learn to break them up in syllables and pronounce them. All right? So there are some of the other signs. Tonsillitis is very common in the Caribbean when a lot of children end up with inflammation of the tonsils, and you can pick this up quickly with reflexology, all right? How to keep your lymphatic system healthy. To keep your lymphatic system strong and healthy, avoid exposure to toxic chemicals like those in pesticides or cleaning products. These chemicals can build up in your system and make it harder for your body to filter waste. Drink plenty of water to stay hydrated so lymph can easily be moved throughout your body. Maintain a healthy lifestyle that includes regular exercise and diet. And so there are also techniques, persons who are trained called lymphedema specialists, that they massage and pull fluids in the direction of how it flows in the body to keep excess fluid out and to keep the heart healthy. This is not set in stone, but here is how you can stimulate the spleen. You can walk it from the right to the left, and you can apply pressure. For the lymphatic system, you use your finger and you push along the line, pushing each line down, and you can use the snowplow technique as well. So you walk down the area, walk it down with pressure, all right? We'll have videos also for each system because it's important that you practice systems. Now that you have gotten more information, it is good that you practice systems, all right? Then you have the groin lymphatic reflex point. I'll show you on the chart. So remember also there's lymph nodes in the groin. So along the ankle is the groin reflex area that you need to look into, all right? And so that's the importance of this chart. One of the areas you walk when, and the technique, you see the arrows to kind of help guide you to find the area. So another chart to show us the tonsils, the lymph nodes, the thymus gland, the spleen, and also the lymph nodes in the groin. So you see how important it is for reflexology. You apply pressure in the area to send message back to the brain to bring freedom, and a good deep tissue body massage is important from time to time. That's the male. Now we see the female. All right. We see the adenoids, tonsils. We see the thymus gland in a bigger view. And so the spleen as well. We see what's happening in the gut and also the groin area. So remember now, there are small glands that are part of the immune system, adenoids and the tonsils. The immune system is a large network of organs, white blood cells, proteins, antibodies, and chemicals. So while we look at the lymphatic system and how it gets rid of waste, the immune system now is like the police department of the body. The system works together to protect you from foreign invaders, bacteria, viruses, parasites, and fungi that cause infection, illness, and disease. The immune system works hard to keep you healthy. Its job is to keep germs out of your body, destroy them, or limit the extent of their harm. When your immune system is not working properly, it can tell which cells are yours and which are substance or foreign to your body. It activates, mobilizes, and attacks. It kills foreign invaders, germs that can cause you harm. Your immune system learns about germs after you've been exposed to them. Your body develops antibodies to protect you from those specific germs. An example of this concept occurs when you get immunization, a vaccine, all right? It's trying to allow your body to build an immune system to fight in case you get introduced to this germ or virus. Your immune system builds antibodies to foreign cells in the vaccine and will quickly remember these foreign cells and destroy them if you're exposed to them in the future. Sometimes doctors can prescribe antibiotics to help your immune system if you get sick, but antibiotics only kill certain bacteria. They don't kill viruses. When your immune system is not working properly, you will whining. When your immune system can mount a winning attack against an invader, a problem such as infection develops. Also, sometimes your immune system mounts an attack when there is no invader or doesn't stop an attack after an invader has been killed. These activities result in such problem as an autoimmune disease, an allergic reaction, when your body no longer recognizes the virus. Your body begins to attack itself. Parts of the immune system. The white blood cell. This serves as an army against harmful bacteria and viruses. White blood cells search for, attack, and destroy germs to keep you healthy. Your white blood cells are a key part of your immune system. There are many white blood cell types in your immune system. Each cell type either circulates in your bloodstream or throughout your body or resides in a particular tissue, waiting to be called into action. Each cell type has a specific mission in your body's defense system. Each has a different way of recognizing a problem, communicating with other cells on the defense team, and performing their function. You have the lymph nodes, the spleen, the tonsils, the adenoids, as we spoke about them before. But let us look at the tonsil and adenoids. Because they are located in your throat and nasal passage, tonsils and adenoids can trap foreign invaders, for example, a bacteria or a virus. As soon as they enter your body, they have immune cells that produce antibodies to protect you from foreign invaders and cause throat and lung infections. So if those are working good, you feel a funny feeling in your nasal passage. Before it reaches to your throat, the body fights and you feel different. All right, so it's telling you that these that are part of the lymphatic system, they are also a part of the immune. Your skin, mucous membrane, and other first line defense. Your skin is the first line of defense in preventing and destroying germs from entering your body. The skin produces oils and secretes other protective immune system cells. Mucous membranes line the respiratory, digestive, urinary, and reproductive tracts. These membranes secrete mucus, which lubricates and moistens surfaces. Germs stick to mucus in the respiratory tract, and they are moved out of the airways by hair-like structures, the cilia. The tiny hairs in your nose catch germs, enzymes found in sweat, tears, and saliva, and mucous membranes, as well as secretions in the vagina, all defend these germs. So you need the mucus. It has its place, but when it gets too much, that's when the virus or the infection is trapped there and it cannot get out, and then it makes you sick even further. Stomach and bowel. Stomach acids kill many bacteria soon after they enter into your body. You also have beneficial good bacteria in your intestine that kill harmful bacteria, part of your defense system. So it is good also to stimulate the stomach as you do the session. So remember, we will look at each part in different sections. Circulatory system, immune system. I will now push out videos based on systems, all right? And then you'll combine them together for your full treatment. So here is a chart. On your own, begin to look at the chart and identify the different parts of the system. So this is the immune system, lymphatic, the thymus, the spleen, the appendix, all right? So familiarize yourself. And the lymphatic, the groin area, right here, you walk around it, and you'll see videos how to go into these points. Here's a lymphatic point, a main point in the groin that you would normally press in the techniques, and all these you will see in the video. So this is just the practical section of the theory section of the class for the lymphatic system for today, but you will receive videos as well to practice, practice, practice.